Hey everybody! Happy New Year! Here we are, 2023. We made it through another year. We made it through me at the helm for a whole year. So okay, congratulations to me. So those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, I am of course Mr. Michael Curtis, Director of Product Development for Dungeon Crawl Classics. And this is my monthly show where I talk about everything, well, a large majority of what's happening in the scene with Dungeon Crawl Classics, Mutant Crawl Classics, and its assorted topics. So I hope everybody out there had a wonderful New Year. I hope you got to spend time with families or loved ones if you don't love your family, but I mean it happens. And and had a wonderful New Year. Everybody stayed safe and everything. And you are looking forward to a brand new year of interesting stuff and entertainment and everything else going on. So it's always great to be back. We had a nice little break myself, and sorry we weren't on last week, but we realized something is that technically the second was a company holiday, and I couldn't make Elena work with especially if I wanted to keep my show. So there we go. So all right, geez Louise. All right, so before we get the show rolling on, let me address the elephant in the room. All right, because I know everybody. So all right, so unless you have been completely offline for the last 5 days or so, you have unlikely heard that there was a leak about this apparently of what the plans are for the open game license, and people have been asking what's Goodman Games official plans, what's going on, what's happening, what does this mean and everything. Well, first of all, nothing official has been announced, so we have no official response to it. Okay, all right, so if and when the time comes that there has to be some sort of announcement, we will be, you will hear it. I will speak freely and kind of unofficially. I have known Joe Goodman for 15 years now. I've worked for Goodman Games for 15 years. I have not lost a single moment of sleep over the last 5 days, last 5 nights about the future of Dungeon Crawl Classics or Goodman Games. So take that as you wish. I am firmly I'm continuing as if business as usual, and so is everybody here. So we'll see what happens. When something official is announced, we will do what all good Dungeon Crawl Classic players do. We will innovate, we will adapt, and we will overcome. So I mean, I just got this job a year ago. I'm not going to let it go anywhere time. So just everybody just chill. We'll get through it. We'll figure out what we're going to do. Okay. All right. So that's all I'm going to say at this point. If Joe has something officially to say, eventually he will he will announce it, or I will announce it, or something like that. Word will be out there, but in the meantime, it's situation normal here behind the scenes. So I hope that makes everybody happy, then, because that's all we can say right now. It might end up being a nothing burger. It might end up something end, but I'm not worried about it until then. Okay. We good? All right. Thank you very much. I knew there was no way we were going to get through the show without addressing that first. So just stay tuned, and everything will be cool, man. Just roll with us. All right. So I think with that out of the way, I think it's time to get on with the show. So I'm going to step away for a second and bring in our first guest. So we will be right back in a moment. So stick around. Hey everybody, I am back, and joining with me is no stranger to the show, Jen Goodman, our director of customer relations and convention organization. What is that?
Brinkman.
Brinkman. What, did I mess up your name?
Hi, I'm Jen Brinkman. I am convention and customer service manager.
Man, it must be starting here. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to have somebody else on the show. All right, good. What? No.
It's all good. It's not the first time autofill has wanted to do it wrong for my name as well. But I definitely Brinkman. But yeah, we're here to
what did I say? To be quite honest,
you said Goodman. It was kind of awkward.
Did I? Okay, all right. Oh.
It's okay, Mike. It's late. It's late.
I know who you are. They know who you are. It's all right. So more important, Joe's wife knows who she is. So there we go. So everything's good. Yeah, there we go. All right. Well,
Yes.
Jen Brinkman, welcome back to the show as always. Always a pleasure to see you. How was the holiday season for you and Bob Brinkman?
Uh, yeah, that one. Nice and quiet.
Yeah.
Couple couple people over for each holiday, and that was it. And it was nice and quiet with the new kitty, and yeah. How about
I'm
yours?
I'm under the impression that there is the pitter patter of 4 more feet around the house.
Former very heavy sounding feet, but she is in fact wee and bitty, so she's just klutzy like me.
You you have,
She
you have,
fits
you
in
have a new
perfectly.
you have a new little kitty who walks with heavy footsteps. Okay.
Yes, her name is Idris, after Idris Seabright, one of Margaret St. Clair's pen names.
Okay. Well, good. I'm hope she's
'Cause-
fitting in with the rest of the what is it, the clouder.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yes
Well,
indeed.
all right. Well, I'm glad you had a good holiday season. Glad it was nice and quiet and everything, and got to spend time with the kitties and with the people that you care about. So, but
I'm
um,
not here to talk about that.
okay, no, we're not. No, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about 2023, and we're going to talk about what's happening in 2023 on the convention scene because I know
So
you've been
much.
so you've been hard at work, even before 2023 about what's happening this year. So, um,
A little
so
bit.
so what's up? What can the fans look forward to? What do we have? What do we have currently on the slate?
Uh, currently, um,
Or whatever you can reveal.
18, 20, something like that. We have a massive list of shows at which some of us will be making appearances throughout the year. And I say some of us because it's not just me behind the scenes running these shows. We also have John Wilson doing like the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. We have Dieter Zimmerman rapping for us in a lot of the Midwest locations. And Brad Littman will be at the last 2 of 3 Strategicons down in SoCal for us.
Okay. All right.
The big ones, of course, on my personal agenda will be Gary Con, UK Games Expo, Origins, Gen Con, and Game Hole.
Okay. So
Um,
UK Games Expo is then confirmed, or as far as we know, or is it?
we will have a booth there, yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Because I guess
We have
I
been
because
confirmed on that for months.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't see, when we posted the original schedule, it was a little time ago. The one that's on the website, a UK Game Expo wasn't on there. I didn't see it on there, so I didn't know if it was still in negotiations or not or anything, or if we were just
Uh,
focusing on the local area. So
it had been omitted from the original list. We also need to add Lexicon back in, and I think that's at the beginning of April. But that one we just got confirmed.
is that Lexington? Is that in Lexington, Kentucky, or is that somewhere?
I believe so. It's in Dieter's backyard, so it
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
make
All right.
sense
So
to
it must
not
be.
do.
Must be. Yeah. All right. So we
He
we
did it
slowly
last year as well.
we're slowly there's like we're slowly blanketing the country.
Slowly.
there's like a gap between the Midwest and the West Coast, and then the Northeast, which is up by me. Nobody wants to come up by me for some reason, and I'm not doing it.
That's not true. Well, I mean, we did do PAX Unplugged, but I guess you could argue that Philly is not Northeast.
No,
Um,
that's Southwest
sorry.
to me.
Well, for some of us, it's really Northeast. Um, a number of the cons on this public list are also just where you will find Brendan running games. So
Ah,
so we included all of the overall Goodman Games appearances.
okay, all right. Well, I mean, ever since Brendan moved back down to Georgia, Chris Doyle and I, we feel alone up here in the Northeast.
Well, we should send you guys to some things like is it
In our
Total
copious
Con?
free
Is that
time, we have nothing to do but else run a convention on top of everything.
Rivers, Mike? Cry me then. I mean, I'll do respect, sir. Uh, no, it's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun. Some people know that we're a little shorter handed on the customer service side right now, so I feel like I'm really trying to wear like 3 or 4 hats this week
Mhm.
or the past month. So if I seem a little bit scattered, it's just brain cells flitting around. Don't worry about it.
I would understand. Yeah, I
Um,
understand that.
yeah,
But I'm not going to tell people to buy less products.
no, no, buy them all again
Who
3
cares?
times, even if they don't have special covers. I mean, you never know when you're gonna need them.
If we so here's the plan. If we sell everything out, then customer service gets a break for like a week while we restock. So that's it. So
Oh,
if you're
no, no,
all
there's still gonna be a million people emailing asking, "Where's my
I know
tracking number?"
okay. I'm trying to be helpful.
Let's
I'm
be
looking
real,
out for
right?
everybody. That's what I am.
Trying to help, I get it. No, it's all good.
Okay.
Right now, no, like now, we have, the sign-up link, up and available for Gen Con events. So anybody looking to run games or seminars under the Goodman Games banner, feel free. I would be remiss if I did not explain that 4 hour events gets you a free badge as well as $100 reimbursement for your hotel room, regardless of where you stay.
Mhm. Okay.
And if you join the tournament team or the other fun thing that we've got going on this year, that benefit is doubled.
Oh, so hey, there you go. All right.
And
So
and there's other perks involved as well. Likewise, if you want to volunteer and help out at the booth, we're implementing a program for that as well, where X number of hours will get you X number of goodies.
okay. All right.
Um,
So
I-
if you're already out there, if you're already thinking about maybe this is the year to do Gen Con, if you haven't done it yet, or you plan on coming back, and you're like, hey, I'm going to run some DCC anyway, or there's a way to make it worth your while.
right. I mean, your badge is covered and part of your hotel is covered. So if you are anywhere remotely near local, it really is in your favor to sign up. And for people volunteering at the cons, I'm sorry, volunteering for booth work or like uh, down in the stadium, which I think is where our events are going to be. We haven't gotten complete confirmation on that, but we can kind of proceed as if last year was a good
I,
benchmark for that, right?
I, I certainly hope they let us back in the stadium.
Uh, but if that is the case, we're definitely going to need more than one person down at the HQ. So uh, anybody filling in those roles will also count as volunteers and be subject to the same perk level.
Okay.
So I think like 20 hours of your time gets you a free badge, even if you're not running any games. So a combination thereof, we can make it work.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. There you go. So
Yeah.
if you're out there and you were thinking about doing it, or you're trying to figure out, hey, how to reduce, your fees a little bit, this is a way to do it. So if people are interested, how should they? How should they contact? How should they get their info to you? Can they
Oh, I
sign up
mean,
to a form, or is there?
there is, of course, the age-old info at goodman-games.com. There's also events at that'll reach me directly, but as soon as we're done here, because I don't want to type while we're online talking, because that's rude,
Mhm.
I will post the link to the page with our
Oh,
uh, Google form on there.
okay. All
It
right.
sounds like, I mean, it seems like a lot of things that you have to answer, but really it's all the same stuff that Gen Con would ask you. But doing it through us gets you more perks because
And it's all
you
about the perks. It's about
you
the
do
perks
get
and the swag.
more
That's
if
what
you
it
do
is.
it that way. Yeah.
I
One
have.
of them being inclusion on the master list of events that gets put out for everybody looking to book space or a seat in your DCC game when events go live.
Ooh, there you go. There you go.
So I will compile all of that for everybody as well.
Mm.
Mike, why don't you actually, I think you know more about this than I do.
Well, yes. Well, it's kind of it's a continuing work in progress. But as if people have been to Gen Con, they know, or they at least they anticipate that we're going to have a tournament, as we have done for the last, like maybe 5-6 years. It feels like we've been going for a while.
At
Uh,
least,
so because there was a break, and then we started up again. But it all blurs together after a while. And there was the COVID years, which I don't know remember, but but yeah, so there will be a tournament again this year as usual. But a little less. We can't say much about that because it is set to test your mettle as a gamer and a DCC person. But last year we noticed is that since it was a 0 level tournament last year, there was a lot of people who signed up. They were very excited to try out DCC because they've heard a lot about it. They heard oh, what's this is the funnel. They want to play in a funnel. And then there was a little bit. They were a little like I didn't know this was a tournament. I just thought I was going to come and throw some gong farmers into into a big manure machine and that's it. But so we have decided that this year we're actually going to do what we're tentatively just calling the funnel experience. So we are going to have there will be the tournament will be going on, but we'll also have X number of tables set up during the slots during the convention. So people, if they want to try DCC, they can sign up, and these will be kind of on the short side. They're only about 3 hours, so less than like a full slot. So it's just basically kind of get in and give it a shot, and you'll get your 4 characters, and you get to go through a funnel which Brendan LaSalle is currently working on. So so it's going to be good, and then we're kind of thinking about the big thing in DCC is that people love that death stamp, right? They just say especially if they're the judge, I killed you all. Well, this year we're also thinking you're going to get a lot like a lived stamp. So if you play through the funnel and you actually have a character that makes it through, we're working on it right now. You can get it like I survive stamp, and that can then become your official first level character. So that you can go sign up for like a demo or a road crew event and everything. Like I have my first level character. I don't have to go through the funnel, and then we'd level up and everything. And, hey, there you go. So we're kind of inaugurating you into the ranks of DCC. For 3 hours of your time and some lucky dice rolls. So we'll have more about that as things are continuing to develop right now, but it's an idea that we thought is going to
Yes, and it's a brilliant idea. I think it'll go over really well. And it's my understanding that the funnel experience, there will be slots of it. We have 3 slots a day, time slots a day, for our official events. And it's my understanding that during each of these slots, there will be tables running for that funnel experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Which obviously we're going to we're trying to have it on the schedule, but we're also going to be like if you were wandering by, especially is it still Sunday? I think is Family Fun Day. Is it, or is there Saturday? Like
I think it's Saturday because Sunday they actually require all events to end by 4 o'clock.
Okay,
So we get cut short.
All right, so maybe we might have a few extra tables on Family Fun Day. So if you're attending, you have your kids, and you want to introduce them to DCC, and you haven't done so at home, you can give them to one of our trustworthy judges for 3 hours, and they will traumatize them and hopefully walk out with a first level character. So there we are.
Send you home with some removable tattoos or something.
Yeah.
Temporary tattoos. I have made sure that all of the funnel experience tables will have their own death stamps, or dead stamps rather. And in answer to one of the questions I see in the Twitch chat, we don't have the event schedule yet for the tournaments, but I have been told to tell you to go ahead and submit whatever events you would like to run. And if you decide after the fact that you'd rather run the tournament, no harm, no foul. At least get locked in there for the number of events that you want to run, because I have to then assign your badges ASAP this year, especially if you are going to try to get housing through the Gen Con housing block. You do need a badge for that. So
and a knife.
I have learned things since last year, okay, people?
And a knife.
And that is way too soon. So, I can be taught, and we have learned things, and some of Gen Con's internal deadlines have actually been scooched back by a couple of weeks, which is a little nice on everybody's end.
I remember when I first started doing Gen Con some years ago, I remember in January I would get that email from Taco John. It'd be like, all right, what are you going to run at Gen Con? I'd be like, Gen Con, that's in August. Why am I thinking about this now? And now over the years I've learned why.
Oh, hey, that reminds me. Mike, if you could put a couple things on the calendar, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure. We have just add what Brendan and I have decided, the patented Mike and or Brendan run stuff.
Yes.
Give us 4 hours, we'll have something. We're just going on name recognition alone at this point, because because as we do, we get really excited about something, and then 9 months in, like, I never want to see this ever again. It's like, I never want to run this ever again. And like, oh, I've signed up for 24 hours of it. So there you go.
That must be the secret. Brendan always signs up for super secret playtest.
Mm. Brendan and I, we ain't no slouches. That's it.
Oh, that's
before,
brilliant.
before we went
Actually.
online, we were having a discussion here, is that what we really need to do for one of the shows is just put Brendan and I in a car and just broadcast it for, like, us driving from, what used to be Northeast, the Northeast of the United States to Indianapolis. Well, this is where that kind of brainstorming comes up with. So,
It's
but that
worked
only
out
works
well
if you
so far.
it only works if you have any sort of name recognition, though. I mean, I cannot, if you just run for, like, your home group, and then you sign up for something and you're like, you know, like Shlomo the Judge is going to run 4 hours of general stuff. You never know what's going to happen. I can't guarantee we'll sign up.
I will insert a caveat there, Mike.
But
If you are Judge X or Z or what have you, and you're running DCC, I can almost guarantee people will still sign up for it.
but yeah, I mean, no, I mean, that's the case. I mean, I'm because
It's
if you
DCC.
are a judge, you're supposed to be a road crew judge. I mean, you already have a built-in fan base. Everybody knows who you are anyway. So, it was we was is that I can is I don't know if that's Thrustradden or that's Frustradden or anything, but somebody just signed up to do a play test with Brendan, and you're going to have a great time. And I'm sorry. They
Emotional
preemptively
support can be
apologize for
found.
whatever Brendan may do to you. No. So
Yeah, you can hit the Facebook groups for emotional support afterwards, and we're here for you, man.
I was let me just say, I was so happy, is because we just got DCC 100 out to the printers just
Yes.
yesterday, late last night or anything. So before I had to go through this was like the first time we've done, perhaps ever, or if not, since I've been involved, we had all the backers. We list all the backers' name. We had all the credits. So I had to go through it just to be safe, just to make sure that nobody's like trying to sneak a fast one in there or anything. And I was so happy because I got to the J's, and there was like a big block of people who were just like Judge so and so, and Judge this, and Judge that, and Judge this. I was like, all right, these are my people. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. they were totally taking the DCC their role as part of the DCC community to heart. So I love to hear that. So which is one of those reasons why I sleep well at night despite everything which is going on. And so
Yeah.
that's good. It sounds like we've got can you remember anything, I mean, aside from UK Game Expo, anything off the bat, any new cons this year that we haven't done before?
I would say the strategic cons are in there. Everything else seems to be, we've hit it at least once before.
Yeah.
PAX Unplugged was a new one for me just this past month. And I don't know when it's going to be next year, or this year, sorry. Yeah, Jen, it's a new calendar already. But I can almost guarantee that we will actually have some gaming on the books this time at PAX Unplugged. And I
Okay.
know that's kind of like unprecedented, but I was sent to find the secret room with the secret keys and the passwords and everything, and I accomplished my mission.
There's always a secret room involved. That's it. I understand now. So one question is, are we open for suggestions for con? Like, if you have a con in your local neck of the woods that we don't already hit, is there a way to reach out with us? I mean, no promises will show up, but I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean that's actually been ongoing since the moment I walked in the door. Everyone's emailing, hey, we've got this con we'd like you to come out for. And it's a careful analysis of geography and timing,
okay,
and
yeah.
personnel
I know
availability
we
really
only have
helps.
X amount of people. We can't do X plus
Yeah,
2 conventions, so yeah.
right.
But yeah, but I mean, if you're out there, and especially if you're in the Northeast, and you have a con, then you want somebody to show up to, maybe throw your name out there, so I don't have to drive so far for them going to one of these again.
I can't guarantee a booth up there, but I could probably send Mr. Curtis up there for you.
In true, yeah, and in true Goodman Games fashion, I remember there was one year we did Total Con. We had this was when Brendan was living in Salem, Massachusetts. This was Total Con in Massachusetts. Brendan went to Arizona, I believe, to run a con, and Dieter drove from Kentucky to, I think we were in Marlboro, Massachusetts at the time.
That must have been
that's the sort of like high level logistics we had. What? Don't do anything.
RinCon. RinCon's in Tucson.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So it was. I don't remember what it was that year, but if it was, that was it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you want to add about the con scene or let people know about before we?
I just think there's been a brilliant outreach since everybody saw us come back at Gen Con. I've gotten a lot of offers of, hey, do you guys need any help at the booth at Gary Con? I'll be out there. And it's like Origins was kind of lukewarm, but Gen Con broke the ice for everybody. So now every single show we've been at since, it's been a fantastic reception, and the community reminds me of why we do what we do.
I think Origins was kind of a strange case this past year because we were just kind of coming out of the pandemic, and Origins originally didn't have their mask mandate in until originally they said we weren't going to have one, and then I think that turned off a lot of people, and then 3 weeks before they said we are going to have it, so people had already canceled at this point. So it'll be interesting to see what numbers Origin pulls in this year. So yeah. So I want to see get back up to the full, and hopefully that will be, and it will be a bunch of DCC and MCC and other fans showing up to hang out with us in the booth.
So. It'll be really interesting to see what the mask mandates are like across the board, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I guess we'll once we get to the far end of the winter, and we'll see where numbers are at this point. So I mean, because once you get people indoors. So, but all right, but we'll find out. Like everything else, no sense worried about just now until we have actual facts, and then we'll see what we do, and then we will whatever those facts are, we will improvise, overcome. We'll keep the party going. So, because you can't keep gong farmers down. All right. Well, thank you very much for being on, Jen. We go back and have some fun with the new kitties and all the rest of that. And I will. Oh, you're doing a little trip this week. I forgot about that. You at the end of this
I got
month.
a short week. Yeah. And
all right.
I would be remiss if I didn't also thank the community for welcoming us back with Spellburn and with the original Sanctum Secorum lineup. Well, I should say the original Sanctum Secorum show. We get Mark back with us, and that will be tomorrow night, same time, same bat channel.
All right. So, and if you don't know where that is, go to the Goodman Games website, and you'll find all the links there and all the information. So, all right. Well, thank you very much, Jen. All right, we'll be right back with another guest in just a moment. So stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back, and joining me is another familiar face who's been around because he has been doing a lot of work for Mutant Crawl Classics, and he has not stopped. So everybody, welcome Tim Snyder back to the show. Yay!
Thank you. Although you can call me Tim Brickman if it
I can call you whatever you want.
Today.
If you want a random last name, I will give you one at this point.
No, I don't. I don't want any name you might give me, Mike.
Call you Tim Kroll. I don't know where I got that from, but.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to talk about MCC and my second adventure that I've written for y'all.
It is your second published one for Goodman Games, but
there was also actually the new Mullen rulebook, I think, has
That's right. So now three of them are. It's just we finished that one so long ago that it was just as always it gets done and then just sits and waits and stuff gets out. But yeah. So Tim, since it's coming out this month, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. You have penned MCC number 14, which is called
Mayhem on the Mag Train.
So yes, all right. So this is actually a good time for it, because right now, mag trains, bullet trains, or anything, they're in the social conscious right now. Everybody's thinking about stuff.
They are. It's not that I'm tapping into anything. I'm just usually lucking into things. So it's kind of what happened here.
That's usually the case. Right. So
That is.
sorry. Give us the overview of what Mayhem on the Mag Train is about, for those of us who were not involved in it from the beginning.
Right. If I was to summarize Mayhem on the Mag Train, I would call it a dungeon crawl at 500 miles an hour. How's that? Mayhem on the Mag Train is, of course, it's right there in the title. There's a mag train and there's mayhem. Without really spoiling anything, what I tried to do with this initially was I wanted to most MCC adventures kind of take place in the seeker's backyard. They ascend, and then everything that happens, it's like, we need you to go over here and take care of that, or we need you to go over here and take care of that. So I wanted to introduce an element that would allow the seekers to travel to other parts of Terra AD, willingly or not. And so this was kind of my chance to kind of introduce that kind of element into MCC.
And you had actually, when you were pitching the idea for me, you had said something like I want to do an adventure that if all goes well, you can use this to basically as a lead into every MCC adventure. So that was
correct.
It was because as things, as depending on how things show, the party may end up with access to a means to travel all over Terra AD, and
that is correct. It's my way of trying to link together all the MCC, or just all the various territories, because the way a judge would typically run it is, everything is occurring next door, as opposed to giving the seekers a degree of what's the word I'm looking for, audit, where they can choose to go where they wish to. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of the elevator pitch. And I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out, if all goes well for the players, obviously.
Right. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic, Route 66. It's like every week they stop at a new town, have a different adventure.
I more or less was encouraged by shows like Super Train, or Silver Streak, or The Big Bus, which was another large vehicle careening wildly while the party just tries to hang on and Jane stop this crazy thing.
and yes, it is it is pretty zany. Somebody already covered like Shade of Icarus. It's got worms. I'm sold.
Well, when it first went up for pre-order, there was a lot of comments about the cover and the worm folk. But the one thing, I'm actually quite proud of the worm folk, because what I'm trying to do is introduce a new global Terra AD threat, and that would be them, which they're known as the Squick. And when they appear, things within miles just disappear. So they are just a huge threat. When I kind of hope they become an ongoing NPC threat for judges to use in any other time they want to terrify the seekers.
Okay, well, I mean, and if other judges don't, you just have to write more adventures with them.
Which I will do.
It's literally hammer it into the consciousness of other judges. That's it.
It's like, oh, this is the 5th one he's written about those worm guys.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. But I'm actually quite proud about how the Squick turned out. And as far as the Mag Train is concerned, or the Magellan, which you'll read all about soon, there is an NPC that could very well become a very close ally of the PCs as the adventure goes on, who may be able to assist them in the future, if all goes well. And also, if things don't go well, it will result in a fiery fireball, as most as most
what
fatalities in MCC end up being.
what could possibly go wrong about
What
building a
could
high-speed
possibly?
bag train, wrecking across the post-apocalyptic landscape? I mean, it's just like,
Yeah, yeah. I tossed in
I'm
every.
sure, I'm sure the train is perfectly functional.
Oh, absolutely. No, why? Why? What could possibly go wrong? Says the judge, giggling behind the screen.
It's up to all its inspections with the with the terror pre-apocalypse board of mag train safety.
Yes, there is speaking of that, there is a timer element to the adventure that the longer the PCs take to reach the apex of the adventure, the more danger they are in. So there is a time element. Once the game begins, they've got a very short period of time to get things under control, if you will.
Right, and as cars start falling off the train, it gets shorter and shorter. So there you go.
That is very, very correct. And obviously, you've got to go where you got to go, no matter whether you have to go forward or over or under. It's not a straight route to the front by any stretch.
No. So if you're a judge who has one of those parties who likes to dilly dally, it's like maybe this is the adventure for finally motivate them to like. Well, why do we stay here? Well, you see, we just lost another car.
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea.
You do the math.
Yes, this is very much an adventure of snap decisions, because the longer you take, the more likely you're rolling up new characters.
Well, there you go. That's it. I mean, high probability of death, runaway technology, AIs, worm people. It sounds like it has everything an MCC adventure needs. So,
and who doesn't enjoy a running gunfight on top of a moving train, huh?
I mean, there's a reason it's a trope.
Oh, I'm all about the cliches, Mike.
So I think the so before you run this, at least go watch Snowpiercer. I mean, like I have not seen the new Bullet Train with Brad Pitt, but I think
you need to.
So I feel this is all in the same wheelhouse. I think
for those of you who have seen Bullet Train, this adventure could end the exact same way. So.
But it was written and edited and in the layout before Bullet Train came out. So any similarities is entirely coincidental. So.
Well, the object is not to end like Bullet Train. It's possible to have a much happier ending.
I mean, it's a high speed train. I mean, there's certain things that you have to expect. I mean, it's like I mean, if it was a slow train, there might be a murder. There might be investigation, but this is a high speed train, so there's going to be action. There's going to be
Yes, exactly. So it's an idea that I've had percolating for a long time, and once it started kind of coming together, I was very pleased with the way it turned out, because obviously you can kind of call it a railroad adventure if you want, but I tried to break out of that box as much as possible, and I think players and judges will really enjoy it. And it's also kind of a shortest adventure, so it could take 1 or 2 sessions to get through it.
Right.
And once it's over, the seekers might have a brand new toy to play with.
Right. And I this is one of the things you always have to consider, is that when it is if the adventure literally takes place on a railroad, I mean, I don't think it's actually fair to call it a railroad adventure. I mean, because there's a certain amount of expectation and buy-in. Like, I mean, it's just like, okay, we're on a train. Like we know the train is going to go one place, and we have to do stuff on the train. It's not, it's not like, oh, we can only go to one place in this entire town. I mean, there's a little more player buy-in, so it's okay to be a railroad adventure if it's on a functional railroad. So
that is a very good point. But considering the fact the entire adventure takes place on the train, then there's a lot to do.
Hurricane Haji brings up, has anybody seen Runaway Train with John Voight? Are you familiar with Runaway Train? I
am not.
I have seen the trailer for it, but I have not actually seen the movie. So all right, so
does it take place on a train?
I mean, it doesn't have mutant worms with John Voight, so I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of another.
I go mutant worms every time.
So
Yeah, it might have void, but it doesn't have mutant worms.
All right. So is there out of this adventure, is there do you have a favorite thing about this, that we haven't really covered or anything, or that you can talk about without revealing too much? Or
obviously, as far as creatures are concerned, I'm very fond of the squick. Just because I think that they might become an ongoing nemesis that judges will kind of leap onto. As far as the adventure itself, there are some exciting set pieces that, if you've seen any Runaway Train movies, then you're probably going to do one of the many things that you see occurring. So it's very exciting, just because there is a good chance with every die roll that things go wildly out of control. And that is exactly the way I like it for the entire 4, 5, 6 hours you guys are playing this adventure.
I just say, a runaway train has quite a different connotation where there's a nuclear reactor aboard the train.
Mm-hmm. And if one of the cars is not functioning quite well, what that might do to the rest of the train.
Right. And unlicensed sea monkey knockoff.
Unlicensed sea monkey. I didn't call them that now, did I?
No, you did not. But
was it that obvious?
but as the guy who wrote The Sea Queen Escapes, I very much early on, I was just like, this is a sea monkey adventure. To the point when Joe was putting together the font, I was like, I want the sea monkey font for the title.
Without spoiling too much, I did discover what happens when somebody in the adventure believes that to be some kind of powdered drink.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So you put the math together, and that's exactly what happened.
I believe one of my favorite quotes from the Tick: "I am full of tiny men."
Exactly. So anyway, it's if you really want to give your seekers a challenge and introduce several new elements to your game, I think this will fit the bill.
Yeah. All right. And I think in the last minute that we have left, I think it's fair to tease is that you are currently working on another MCC adventure, right now. So without saying anything about it, it is inspired by something that we'll be seeing, and we expect this year on DCC Day. So if you enjoy Tim's work, you enjoy what he's been doing with MCC, he's got a doozy of a pitch he gave me, and it should be.
And now to live up to
it. Well, I mean, we got one which is on a train. This is falling apart. Well, imagine skyscrapers.
Yes.
and giant kaiju, walking around.
And I need to work in some mutant worms.
There you go. They could be there.
Yeah, let me get a note down.
Maybe they're working underneath the foundation. There we go. All right. Well, Tim, thank you very much for coming on and telling us all about MCC number 14, Mayhem on the Bag Train, which is available this month. And I think it's already been up for pre-order, and if your friendly local game store should have it, if they are friendly, they are local, and they are cool. So, all right. All right. So we're going to take a step out, and then I will be back with a very special guest in just a moment. I just want to show off the book here to you tonight. For those of you who have not picked it up and are curious about what exactly you're looking for, because a lot of people have been posting. They've been posting this. They've seen this lovely cover here, this lovely San Julian cover, but we haven't had a chance to take a look inside. And if you've tuned into the unboxing show that Harley Stroh and I did a long time ago, it's damn funny when we start unboxing stuff. So hopefully, even though I have to do it by myself, hopefully I can still layer that level of little thing. So there we go. So for Lucy, you can see, maybe, I don't know if we can catch this in here. So we've got we've got wonderful foil. They're probably not coming in too good here, but we've got this. It's really, it's crypty. It's crypty looking foil. I don't know exactly what that means. But we open it up here, and right away, we've got some beautiful. We've got this is Peter Mullen from his work, I believe. Is this a Peter? It looks Peter Mullen-ish to me, but no, just so Judge Wiley, just they got their shipping notification. So this, as you can see here, this is a, this is an impressive book. I mean, we have literally, not counting the handouts, we've got over 150 pages of goodness here for you. So we got, yes. Sylvian, I think, is agreeing with me that it looks like Mullen. So I think it is very much Mullen. Unfortunately, Peter kind of hides the signature sometimes. So so we've got basically the whole deal you want to go in with here. We have lovely art inside. I mean, I think they did a tremendous job of what you're going on here for an adventure which has been around for a good period of since Goodman Games has been around. Smash Test Dummies represent. If they play tested, you probably have been included there. So this is the main booklet itself. So we've got look at that. that is definitely Stefan's work there. I think somebody actually owns this now. I think this is somebody's in somebody's personal collection. I think somebody posting about this. So we have a lovely selection. Let me see if I can get to. If you're going to run through this, if I show the maps, just look away for a while. Please do that. I mean, but we've got some information. We got about Justicia here. So those of you who are playing a cleric of Justicia, somebody who maybe if you're in the Shutter Mountains, Justicia or something. Don't look at this. This is Chamber of the Damned. Just you don't want to go there. It's damned. So that's it. But let me show you a picture you're not going to see. All right. So there we go. Ghost shark. We have a ghost shark on this page eating a halfling. All right. I can guarantee you that you're not going to see that in one D&D. Right. I can bring you that right now. Listen, Goodman Games brings something to the table, and it's ghost sharks. Right. That's right. I'm saying it tonight. We are the sci-fi bad horror movie of role-playing games. That's it. You know what you're going to get? You'll get one D&D, but for Goodman Games, you'll get 6-headed ghost shark. And that's a promise, right? They jumped the ghost shark. Shut up, Marcio. This is my show. All right, stop being funny, right? All right. But so without diving too much into it, we have. If you get to the end of it here, stick it to the man, Mike. I will. That's it. All right. But you got a bestiary. You have a whole bunch of new monsters to be including in your DCC game. You get hell wasp forms. I had those once. We had to get rid of them with gasoline. It was nasty. We have Titan jelly. Until this moment you did not know there was a Titan jelly in DCC. Well, there is one now. Right? We have stats for vampires, and look, spectral shark, giant spectral shark. So it wasn't just a normal ghost shark; it was a giant spectral shark. So that's how terrifying this thing is. Oh, all right. So we've got some. We got some new spells. If you are interested in new spells, I think if you for some reason think that there are not enough spells in Dungeon Crawl Classics, Crypt of the Devilish, new spells. What do you think about that? All right, new stuff, new goodies. A patron write-up for the Devilish herself. So, and because I know people complain about this, with patron spells. Because we actually, when you do 151 page adventure, you have extra room for it. So so those are what you have there. And of course, we have a whole appendix worth of layout stuff. So that is just beautiful. But wait, there's more. Okay, if you backed the Kickstarter, you know that you also got access to the Lost Level, which is this beautiful book here. And I'm going to open this live, assuming I have enough. Yeah, I have a little time to do this. All right, I'm going to open this up live because this has got some goodies in it that you will not see elsewhere. And this way, of course, it comes with your obligatory copy of the Goodman Games Gazette, put together by a very hard-working Harley Stroh. He's working behind the scenes. That's why we put Harley's haverings on the front. You let him ramp. This is because he doesn't get out of the mountains very often. So this is his sole way to communicate with civilization is in the Goodman Games Gazette. So if you do not have one, you're letting part of Harley down. And I know, and I will keep Harley happy because he does good work. All right, so here we go. This is the Lost Level, which is this is a Kickstarter backer exclusive, so it will not be available if you've not back it during the Kickstarter. However, and now I cannot condone this, but it is a possible way. If you know somebody who did back it and you sneak into their house and steal it when they're not there, then you too can get a copy of this. No, all right. It also may show up. I can't condone that, but I'm just saying options. creativity. That's what it's all about. DC is about. So this is the stuff. But most importantly, whole level has not been there, thus the lost level. But if you want to do this for your friends and family at home, it also includes, most importantly, the the tournament scoring. So if you want to see how you can do, that's worse than steal the zine. No, it's not. I mean, that's just the zine. This is a whole lost level that you can't get anywhere else. So, but pre-gens, if you need backup characters, if you are in a situation, say, where you need to see like a third level, a third level DCC character, you got one here. We've got good stuff there. But what I'm really going to get to here is, of course, this is designer diary stuff you can learn about it. Whole bit Chris Doyle talking about designing legend. Lisa Doyle, more Chris Doyle. This is a Doyle family affair, basically, is what this is. They didn't ask me to write anything because I'm a terrible writer. But there you go. So, but this is what I really want to show you, because this is the piece of resistance as far as I'm concerned. This, of course, is the full color handout booklet. So for those of you who are playing along at home, or you're running this along at home, you can see everything that's in there in full glorious color. So look at that. I mean, look at that. That's a Bradley McDevitt, and it looks like he used all the crayons in the box of crayons. There's just a gorgeous amount of work there. You don't usually get to see that in our black and white stuff. So so this is for those of you. So if you've not currently ordered a copy of Crypt of the Devilish, although you may not be able to get what's in the lost level stuff, I can guarantee that between the adventure itself, all of the groovy new spells, magic items, patron write-ups and everything, monsters, this is well worth book to have added to your collection. So if you have checked it, have had a moment to check it out, please, by all means, let people know. It's I think it's a lot of hard work went through this, and we're very happy. Yes, beautiful artwork, always top notch. I want to take a quick moment to talk about that. Obviously, amongst the other elephant in the room, which before that elephant showed up, the other elephant that everybody was talking about was AI generated art. And there was a lot of role-playing game companies who were coming out, and they were saying, it's like, we are never going to use AI art. We take a full stand against it. Goodman Games has never said that, because we don't use digital art. So it's like our artists work in traditional, physical. I'm not putting, if you work in digital tools and that's your thing, that's great. But I know Joe and myself and most of the artist crowd here in Goodman, they really, we really enjoy that tactile, that use of actual physical stuff. And that's the kind of thing we want to keep bringing to you. AI created art can do very interesting stuff, and like some of it is very, very trippy, but it always feels like it's missing something, and that is the soul of the creator. So it's a useful tool, but you're not going to be seeing it in Goodman Game stuff anytime soon. So that's my little soapbox. I'm gonna put that back down over there. But I just wanted to get that out, and just wanted to get it. Are we saying we employ real humanoids? Real something. I'll say that much. So yes, we are, I have learned more about arts and the importance of supporting art through Joe Goodman, because I am a word monkey. I am a proud word monkey. I do that better than anything, I mean, better than anything else I do. So what does that say? What does that say about what else I do? But yeah, I've learned very much, through listening to Joe, and more importantly, listening to like Doug and Stefan and Matt and everybody else. And I would leave the art stuff up to the professionals, because they know what they're doing. All right, well, that was it. I hope you enjoyed the quick little look into Crypt of the Devilish. Hopefully at least 10% real human artists. Yes. I can guarantee that all our artists are at least 10% human. The other 90%, I don't know, wacky. All right. So we're at the, I'm not going to ask Elena to take me to off camera, so we just come back myself. So you continue to look at the Crypt of the Devilish for a little while I just do the roundup and let you know what's going on here. So first of all, let's see what's going on. If those of you who are after bad mouthing digital stuff, let me just say, if you are the kind of person who does enjoy the virtual tabletop and stuff, this month we have Jewels of the Carnifax and the Emerald Enchanter are both up on Foundry right now. I like Foundry. I use Foundry. I was monkeying around with it today. So if you're looking for something, by all means, check that out. I am very proud just to announce that there is a little something called Love Mutants of Castle Heartache, which is currently up for pre-order, which let me just say, this is either going to be the best Valentine's Day adventure we ever put out, or the last Valentine's adventure, or perhaps both. So we had so much fun putting this one together. There are certain projects which are, very much the product of one person. Love Mutants is very much Brendan LaSalle, but it could not have done without, Harley Stroh, without Harley Stroh agreeing to be our cover model. Or me suggesting what exactly artist photo we should be using for Brendan. So it is a genius thing. Yeah. You just so we just wait till you see the back cover. Oh yes, yeah. Oh god, it's so much fun. The cover is freaky. The back cover is even more terrifying. So that is up for pre-order. Do not be left out of this one. This one might become a collector's item, because the Secret Service might bust in and steal all our copies out of this one. It's gonna be like Steve Jackson all over again. So that's it. So, I believe we announced this on the Kickstarter, but DCC Dying Earth, boop boop, it's on a boat. It's coming to shore. It's getting there, and we anticipate that it's going to start fulfilling in late February and early March. I know people have been waiting for this one, but trust me, it's worth the wait. I do want to mention, however, is that Jen has told me that we were going to be reopening the Pledge Manager in about a week or two. So if you have not already filled out the survey, we need you to hop on there and verify your shipping details, because you don't want to miss this one. We want to get this one to you exactly, because you've been waiting long enough for it. Not as long as Crypt of the Devilish, but we had less things. This there was more going on with Dying Earth. Less stuff went wrong. so we're getting you high quality stuff faster. So look forward to this. So that is that. If you did not back it, however, pre-orders are also going to be coming out later this week, so you have plenty of time to hop on and get on that and get along with it. Can we add more add-ons? I do not believe so at this point. I think it's pretty much at this point, but I might be proven wrong at this point. Jen is not a yes or no. Jen, chime in if they get chime in the chat if they can vote more stuff. Yes. So you can add more back on. You can add more stuff. So there you go. So if you want to pick up more stuff, please do. As I mentioned, we had Tim on to talk about MCC number 14. So that is and apparently we are adding more add-ons, right? There's more add-ons to your add-on. Yo dog, I heard you like add-ons with your add-ons, so I gave you more add-ons. So MCC 14, Mayhem on the Mag Train, is hitting the shelves this week. Go out and buy a copy of that, along with DCC Lankbar number 14. So Mr. Harley Stroh was on last time. We talked about that one. This is another great fun adventure, especially if you're a fan of Lankbar and you're a fan. Even if you don't like Lankbar, if you love Harley Stroh, this is the easiest one. You can drop this in anything. So lots of stuff going on there. Need more core books. Funny you should say. There is always plans for there's always plans for stuff coming, but I do want to bring out, however, that yes, ETA on DCC 103 Bloom of the Blood Garden pre-orders for Bloom of the Blood Garden will be later this month. So generally we do pre-orders about a month out from when they hit the shelves. So figure that, do the math there yourself. All right, so that is going to be coming out. Want more America? Well, we only have so much to say about that. Reed is the person to talk about. We've published some of this stuff. I'm sure if Reed is pushing more stuff, he's the one to talk to. We can help facilitate that. But you can't ask the garden hose people to get you more water. You have to you have to talk to the reservoir itself. Is what I'm saying. All right. Yes, Lankmore, yes, more, DCC Lankmore number 14. And any news on the Crawl Kickstarter? It is now, I know you can understand. I burned you before. I told you at last year that it would come this year, and that did not happen for another reason. So I'm just going to say it's on the short list for this coming year. All right. So, we're actually, I have Brendan working on writing up, doing design stuff for the Kickstarter campaign as we speak. So not going to give you any dates right now, but it is on the short list. Okay. There might be something just above it, maybe one or two. So it's coming up. So, all right. More something. All right, and because we here at Goodman Games love our third-party people, I just want to make a couple of notes. Sharktopus Games has Aeon Volume 4, The Hall of Hades, which is headed your way. We also have Meridian Games is bringing you Judge Phil's Zine of Goodies, Volume 1 and Volume 2. I've had a chance to take a look at this. If you dig the Gongfar's Almanac, I think you're gonna love Judge Phil's Zine. So you should be able to get that out through the Goodman Game Store. And Dragon Peak Publishing is doing something cool, which is in store for the Road Crew. So it's a homemade zine with a solo adventure. It's got some magic items, and which is really picked me up because I love stuff like this. It is a new PC class whose abilities are powered by the number of Road Crew games you run. So that sounds pretty cool for me. So run more games, you're more powerful for your PC comp. So all right, so. All right, so thank you very much. I hope I did some stuff to help dissuade some anxiety with everything's going on. Obviously, we'll see what the future has, but I'm here for the long run. Goodman Games around for 20 years. We want to be here for as long as you people want to do it. So all right, so I think that is a wrap for the first show of 2023. I hope that you have a great year, and I look forward to taking that ride with you all. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a month, and until then, everybody stay awesome. Okay, we're out of here.